Yo, welcome back to the Shuffle Squad. Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be covering over a new-ish archetype, and that's going to be the evolution of Klawf Terapagos. And now in the Prismatic Evolutions format, it is Poison Terapagos. Now, you might be wondering, why have we cut down on our Klawfs? Well, we have other single prize card Pokemon, such as Budew, that allow us to poison our opponent's Pokemon with the Brute Bonnet, Radiant, Hisuian, Sneasler package. We could slap a Binding Mochi onto that Budew, so 10 damage with Itchy Pollen, an additional 40 damage with Binding Mochi, an additional 3 damage counters in between turns with Poison. It can really slow your opponent down in the beginning of the game, while you could build up a board state. And of course, you have the new additions of Iron Valiant EX and a bunch of Switch cards that allow you to go pop, 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 play some extra damage counters as the game progresses. And there's some cool new cards like Black Belt's Training that allow you to do even more damage. This has allowed us to go Terapagos, full bench, area 0, load up whichever Pokemon we need, and we could play it like a traditional Terapagos EX deck, slap in some poison extra damage with that Binding Mochi package, all that cool stuff. You have access to Klawf because we have the poison package. We're able to do some extra damage. Maybe that's going to be great against some of them right on EX you might see. And there's a handful of other techs here. This is a list that I've been rocking with for a little bit, so be sure to check that out. You might be wondering, hey, wait, where's the Hisuian Electrode V? With the extra damage that we're able to do with Black Belt's Training, we can actually go Terapagos EX, full bench, 240 damage. That's with the area 0, minus 20 from Double Turbo, 220, plus 40 from Binding Mochi, 260, plus 40 from Black Belt's Training, 300, plus triple poison from Radiant, Hisuian, Sneasler, and Brute Bonnet, 330, being able to knock out a Charizard EX or a Dragapult EX full self-sufficient. List is available in the description, so be sure to check that out. You can copy and paste that right into PTCG Live, and if you need any of the cards for this deck in real life or online, check out our sponsors at Kayfabe Cards and PTCGO Store. We have links and discounts available in the description. We're going to be covering over some gameplay, we have this deck list, and some more hot tips throughout the video. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what you think about this deck, or just say anything in the comments because it really helps boost the YouTube algorithm. Let's get to 50k subs next. You know what's up. Let's jump into some gameplay. So we won the coin flip, and the big question is, do we want to go first or second? This deck can go first or second and see success, but I'd like to go second. And the reason why is because I'm playing Budew, giving me a lot of opportunities to attack on my first turn of the game. Now, I could go first with that summoning sickness of the Terapagos EX because it has to take the first turn off. But now, since we're going second, I have a very good opportunity to just go full on, big bench, knock out our opponent's active. And if they only have one Pokemon, we could just like rob the game right here. Before I do anything, there's no harm for me to just go Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball being able to grab Lumineon. I think Lumineon, we might actually be able to win the game on our first turn here. Let's go Lumineon Search. And what I want to do is just grab Arven, double check here. I'm pretty sure we're able to grab probably all the pieces for the Brute Bonnet. We just have to hit 70, so we have to grab Radiant, Hisuian, Sneasler, Pecharunt, and a way out of the active. Okay, so we're going to go Arven. Not using the Iono. And what I'm going to grab here is going to be Precious Trolley and 4 Seal Stone. Because I think we'll be able to get everything that we need. Now let's go area 0. 4 Seal Stone. And since I have since I'm pretty sure I have most of the pieces, let's grab Brute Bonnet for 1. Let's grab Pecharunt, Radiant, Hisuian, Sneasler, and let's also grab Terapagos because that's going to expand our bench. I think these are probably the best Pokemon that we can grab. Area 0 does its thing. And now we can go ahead and go Squawk and Seize. We're pretty close to getting whatever we need. A simple Switch Cart wins the game. At Heavy Ball, like, there's a lot of things that can just win the game. Switch Cart does put us into Pecharunt. We just need to have a way to get out these energies. We could also just retreat. So if we look into like ways that we can actually just like win the game, this is one of the easier ways. I'm gonna go Switch Cart into Oranguru, search, back order, search for these two. We don't even have to go for the Budew, to be honest. But we could have done Budew here if we really wanted to. Let's go ahead, retreat. This is not the one that needs to be poisoned. So let's go ahead, let's poison our active so that we're not taking any extra poison damage. And let's go Toxic Powder. And we could have done this on our first turn as well, but you can see that like you could just steal games here. They're taking 8 times poison. We end the turn. They're knocked out in between turns. One Pokemon, they're popped. That's over. So whether or not we attack with the Terapagos or not, we could still very much poison our opponent. We could stop their items. We could have attacked maybe with Klawf. We saw the 4 Seal Stone. And that was with some rough prizing as well. Let's jump into another game. Okay. So I think I won the coin flip here. We're just going to go second again. Now, if we lost the coin flip and our opponent starts one Pokemon, we're just going to kind of go for the Pecharunt donk. This start seems okay enough. Like, we started with a Pokemon. We have access to Nest Ball. We have access to Ultra Ball. Like, we have enough opportunities here to do some cool things. And I mean, I think there's a real chance that we could just, again, win on the first turn or put ourselves into a Budew lock. Or, like, we have a lot of different ways of how this deck can go. So playing against a deck that goes through a lot of item cards like Switch Cart, Buddy Poppin', even if they don't get another Pokemon, they might just lose here again. Which would be Wilds. Okay, they got 2 Pokemon out, that's fine. I do foresee this being a Budew lock kind of thing. I'd really like to knock out some of these Comfey, so it stops their Mirage Gate, stops them from searching out things like Nest Ball. Cool, 2 Pokemon there, awesome. We can't knock out both, but we can get pretty close to it. Now, if I look into cards that I just want to kind of deal with, I think what I want to go for here is Nest Ball, search. I think first card that I want to go for is just going to end up being a Terapagos. We did prize our Oranguru, which is mildly annoying. Yeah, Terapagos makes a lot of sense there. And if I go Ultra Ball, I think like Ultra Ball Switch Carts. Like I want to go after the double, like I want to use double turbo. Like the Switch Cart can be important. I don't think it's as important as what I want here this turn. So I can make our opponent at least triple poisoned if necessary. Let's go ahead and go Brute Bonnet. Brute Bonnet's going to go down here. Let's go this. I could have the energy onto the Terapagos. I do need to find a Switch Cart or a Latias, but like if I don't find those, then it's fine. Let's go Iono and deal with how we want to deal with the starts. Okay, a little bit of a not fantastic. Let's go Ultra Ball away, Terapagos, and we probably don't need Black Belts training this game. We're gonna search our deck for a Squawkabilly. And I'm just thinking about ways to like utilize the cards we can in our hand. Ancient Booster, Energy Capsule doesn't ever help us on a Radiant Hisuian Sneasler. So let's go Squawk and Seize, pitch this away, and we did get Precious Trolley, which does allow us to go, we can Budew. Budew's going to do 10, 30. They're going to get knocked out in between turns. So we can't necessarily get the full knockout with Budew, but this is like, okay. We're gonna go Budew with Latias, and we'll at least slow down our opponent the best we possibly can. Since we don't have the Binding Mochi on our Budew, we're gonna go ahead and go Toxic Powder active, retreat, and we're just trying to slow our opponent down here with Itchy Pollen. I don't think they have a great way to get out of this. I mean, they could go Colress, retreat into Cramorant, and that's their best way, but they also have to have Colress and Cramorant. They can't Nest Ball or anything else like that. And even if they retreat out of this, I'm fine to just sit here and poison while we build up a few turns. If they don't retreat, we'll just hit them with the knockouts. That's fine. Having a Oranguru prize so that we couldn't switch cart for Steelstone, Precious Trolley, Squawkabilly, hurt us a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but that's fine. We'll deal with that and we'll kind of overcome that. Like, prizing can be an issue from time to time when it comes to this deck, especially if you prize a crucial piece and you can't Hisuian Heavy Ball to it right away. That's one way to get around the poison damage. So I think they're probably playing Lost Zone Tina, but you can see, like, there's not much that they can do except sit here and go for it. Wow, they ended up getting the Cramorant. So good on our opponent. That's awesome. They're able to knock us out. When it comes to sending up a Pokemon, I just usually am going to send up Latias. That's completely fine. And if they put out a 2-prizer, we're going to start knocking out their 2-prizer Pokemon. We could go Klawf. Klawf is a single prize card Pokemon that can take a knockout. I don't know if I want to put down more 2-prize. Like, I'd like to put down more 2-prizers. But, like, I can't knock out the Cramorant with Budew. I can't do any kind of cheesy thing, so I have to knock it out in general. I think I'm going to be okay with this. They could play Lost Vacuum and we could lose access to Poison. Because we are going to discard our 3rd Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. We have 1 in play, 2 are discarded. Could have maybe gone Boss's Orders, Poison, but we don't have access to Budew easily. So let's go Research. Let's get this set up. Not really much that we can do. We can use Heavy Ball and start grabbing some of these cards out of our prize cards. We have double Heavy Ball, so we might as well try to slow things down a little bit. And when it comes to doing damage on our opponent's Pokemon, we're doing 30, 60. So basically we have to retreat. And Klawf is a Pokemon that you want to poison here. So let's go ahead, poison the Klawf, because in order to use Unhinged Scissors, we have to poison it. A lot of the times you're going to be trying to play around in between turns in case your opponent plays Fezandipiti. Sometimes it's not the case. Let's see us get Heavy Ball. Let's go. I feel like PTCG Live always be giving me Heavy Balls after I take the prize cards. I know it got shuffled, but I feel like almost always I'm getting Heavy Ball. That's okay. We'll see exactly what our opponent does here. Like, our goal is if they put down a single prize or 2 prize card Pokemon like Tina V, we can go ahead and knock that Pokemon out. You might be like, how are we knocking that Pokemon out? Well, if our opponent takes a knockout, that's great. If they don't, that's also great. I think their deck shouldn't particularly be great against ours, because I don't think they have a way to draw any more prize cards other than just knocking out a 2 prize card Pokemon. Even Radiant Ninja doesn't knock out 2 Pokemon, so that's cool. So maybe they could do some cool things, but we have free retreat. We have a lot of cool things. If they are playing Tina, like, we just want to bring up Tina and knock it out. If they knock out our Klawf or something, that's also fine. We're just going to go Boss's Orders. And we could go Boss's Orders by finding, like, 4 Sealstone or something like that, maybe. We'll deal with it, at least. We're going to try our best here. We don't necessarily need to find everything this turn. We have Bloodmoon Ursaluna that can also take things out. Their Regigigas can't really knock us out. Because we don't, like, we have I guess we have a Terra Pokemon. Regigigas would actually, never mind. I always forget that Terapagos is a Terra Pokemon. So yeah, if they knock this out with a Regigigas this turn on our Terapagos, that'd probably be the best play they could make. again, like we're putting our opponent in a tough position to find these cards over and over and over again, and we can also Iono them later on in the game, so that sounds pretty good to me. There's a Forest Sealstone. Maybe they will get it this turn, right? Like if they do, we're just gonna knock back with Klawf or knock out another 2 prize card Pokemon, leaving them with just a Gigas. Like we will deal with this as the game progresses. But you can see like how like the difference of, hey, we had a card prize can really change things up. Like I'm okay if you see a game that doesn't necessarily look perfect, because we saw a game that otherwise worked well, and that was cool. We could also late game Budew trap our opponent if they need like just a Mirage Gate to win the game, or if we can kind of count their energies, we could use that information and Budew lock our opponent out of using those cards. I've done that before in other cases where I've been able to use Budew to stop my opponent from playing Counter Catcher, which is a game-winning card, and that's their only out. And then they eventually deck out or they just lose the game. We'll have to see. Our opponent has 2 energies in their discard pile, none in play, 3 in their loss zone, so that's a little bit tough. They do have enough so they can start using Sableye. Sableye might be annoying, like they can do some damage onto our Klawf. We'll see if they factor in poison or not. Maybe they won't. They have to do 1 more. Okay, so it looks like they're playing it well at least. I don't know about the Radiant Hisuian Sneasler. I guess it brings to Cramorant damage. I'd probably rather try to get the Squawkabilly to something else. We're going to send up this because we have access to some stuff here. We don't have any ways to draw any extra prize cards. Area 0 solves a lot of our issues. I'd love to go for Boss's Orders, Knockout Tina V. That's going to put us at 3 prize cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our opponent's taken 2. So I think what I'm going to do here again is exactly just that. I'm going to waste this heavy ball because we don't need access to it. I'm pretty sure we play double Forest Sealstone. If worst comes to worst, we could always figure this out. There we go. Can we get the knockout actually with Budew? I think Budew might be better because they can't get back Sableye. It allows us to tie the prize cards, and I don't think our opponent can get anything back. I think we're going to go ahead and do this, because if we poison the Budew, they're poison 10 plus 50 plus... Yeah, this is much better. No need to worry about nothing, y'all. Let's go ahead and let's just go Switch Cart back. So maybe it would have been better to play Arven instead of going for the whole Oranguru, but at least I have Forest Sealstone there. Binding Mochi. I'm going to poison myself. And you can see they're going to get knocked out in between turns with the Budew, because we're doing 50 with the Mochi, and then they can't get out of this. They can't, like, they'd have to, like, they don't play double Sableye, or they should not be playing double Sableye. Colress's Tenacity could get us an energy. Do we care about having an energy? We could search deck for an item and a Pokemon tool card. I don't know if I care about any of those either. Maybe Arven could be hot. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just going to grab a Switch Cart and a Binding Mochi. Still have plenty of cards left in our deck. And then should I put down something like Bundle? Could go Bundle. I actually don't know if that matters. I don't think our opponent's going to adjust our hand. We're only drawing 1 prize card, no Roxanne. Yeah, so we're going to go Itchy Pollen. They're going to put themselves in a position where they are knocked out in between turns, no Fezandipiti, no access to item cards, no Mirage Gate. And I think this is going to allow us to kind of jump ahead back into the game again. Because they're going to have to evolve into their Tina V-Star, and I think we're going to be able to get the knockout with that on a Forest, off of Forest Sealstone boss. We could also switch card our Budew to get out of this poison situation. So we could do this for a few turns. So I'm okay with that. Like, the more that I can use Budew, like sometimes a late game Budew is as strong as an early game Budew. And in this case, you can see our opponent does not have access to Night Stretcher. They do not have access to Mirage Gate. They could retreat out of it. That's cool. But I don't know exactly how they are going to figure this out. Wow, they're playing the Iono as well. That could just give us a boss. There's a boss. 260, 290. We still need some more Pokemon kind of in our active spot. Now, they probably play, like, if we can get a Switch Cart out of here, I think we just go for this again. We've only played 2 Switch Cards, so there's the Poison. And they'd have to find their Grass Energy. When it comes to Grass Energies, they have 1 there. They probably only play 3. So they have 2 other Grass Energies. When it comes to Pokemon that we want to knock out, I think what I want to do here is just quite literally is do the exact same play I did again. Let's go Arven, Switch Cart for this Binding Mochi. Because we still have Forest Seal Stone. We're still fine. I'm poisoned still. We could get access to a free Oranguru, but we have no more tools in our deck. So let's go ahead. Instead of retreating first or doing anything else like that, we want to heal off the active. Let's go. Switch Cart goes here. Switch Cart, bring up Latias. We're going to go ahead, retreat back into Budew. We want to make sure that Budew is poisoned because we want to make sure that we have access to Toxic Powder, the Binding Mochi, whatever. Let's go ahead here and go 50, knockdown in between turns again. And we're just forcing our opponent in the same position. If we get the knockout on the Tina V-Star next turn, which I don't think we will because damage wise it's going to be a little bit tough. I think that's definitely going to try to be our last resort prize card. Like, we need to have a full bench. We need 2 more Pokemon on our bench, so we could be doing 240 minus 20, 220 plus Binding Mochi, 260 plus Triple Poison, 290. That's going to be our win con for knocking out Artina. That's what I'd like to save Forest Seal Stone for, if possible. Is just finding some more Pokemon. And if they go boss, wow. Are they going to Star Requiem our Budew, or did they just randomly get boss? Oh, they're just passing. Well. This seems like a bit of a mistake. Because now we can go ahead. If we had access to black belts, that'd be really cool. And we can go Forest Seal Stone. I think if I go Forest Seal Stone, I need to find 2 Pokemon. The issue is finding the 2 Pokemon. Either way, I have to use Star Alchemy, so I'm not gonna worry about that when it comes down to it. I could go I don't have the Switch card. That's the issue. Like, I just don't have another Pokemon. I don't have a way, like, I can go search for Lumineon. Oh, actually, I just get the knockout by Lumineon, searching for Arven, searching for whatever. Sometimes you got to think creatively about it. So let's go back order, search for Lumineon. I was like, how do I get 2 Pokemon? Well, we're going to get 2 Pokemon this way. Yep. And we're going to search for Arven. Arven can search for... We could search for Nest Ball. We can either go Nest Ball or we can go... or we can go, like, Night Stretcher. I think Night Stretcher might be better. I just want to double check. I mean, we can have Bloodmoon Ursaluna if our opponent takes 2 prize cards. We still don't do enough. Do I care about Iron Valiant in this matchup? That doesn't win me the game. Yeah, I think Night Stretcher is actually probably the hottest play that we have. Night Stretcher just getting back our Dippity. I could grab Terapagos as well. I'd rather have access to some things, like if our opponent, like, I think we have enough ways to win this game no matter what. I'm just going to waste some other cards here. I'm just going to put a Forest Seal Stone down just in case our opponent plays Iono or anything else like this. Now, we do need to poison our Terapagos, so I'm going to go retreat into Terapagos, because you always want to control, like, if you need to poison your Pokemon or if you're just doing the extra effect. And since we have Binding Mochi, we're going to hit for 260 knockout in between turns. Our opponent lost their Tina. And if they take 2 prize cards this turn, I think we're chilling. Part of me feels like maybe I should have grabbed the Terapagos out of the discard pile. And it's just because I have the Colress. I'm just, again, maybe worried about too much if our opponent decides to knock us out or something else like that. I mean, I feel like we have a pretty good chance here if I just go Budew poison something that they have in their active. So we're going to see what they go here. If they take away our area 0, that's completely fine. This can be gone. This can be gone. This can be gone. Those are 3 of the worst Pokemon I ever could have had in play. So I'll take the spared bench space. And I guess if our opponent gets a knockout, I still have Fezandipiti. So I think I'm chilling. And they've already played an Iono. So, like, I don't know. Probably could have gone for just, like, the Terapagos play. This is, like, mildly annoying. But that's fine. Like, we'll see what we end up top decking. Like, we're down to 1 prize. It does, like, nothing. Our Bloodmoon can knock out their Bloodmoon. We still have access to Bloodmoon. Maybe Bloodmoon would have been a better choice. I don't think it matters. We also have Boss's Orders Budew game anyways, so I probably am just, like, overthinking what could matter or what couldn't matter. Again, really hoping that our opponent does not adjust our hands, but if they do, we do have Fezandipiti. Iron Hands could be kind of hot. I wasn't expecting Iron Hands. Iron Hands Roxanne. Our opponent, they be cooking. Now, they can stop our poison here with the Brute Bonnets. This game's getting a little bit more interesting. How many, I think no more poison for the rest of the game. Huh, okay. If we end up losing this game, that's completely fine. I don't even know if, the Fezandipiti is probably the best choice that we had here. So we can't knock out the Bloodmoon, so we need to get boss something. Itchy Pollen, like Budew is probably the best Pokemon we can send up here, for what it's worth. And we'll just deal with this. We do have boss, so I think I'm gonna boss up this, and that might not necessarily end up working for them. Like, they've already gone through 1 Jet Energy, 2 Jet Energies. We'll go with flip the script. Okay. Let's go Nest Ball, because Nest Ball could end up being really cool. If our opponent does give us anything, we can't get the knockout with Bloodmoon Ursaluna. We could play Iono on our opponent's active and just get Bloodmoon Ursaluna set up. This doesn't do enough damage because we can't ever poison anything. But we can just, like, save for, like, we have 1 prize card left. I'm not overthinking this, right? I can't poison, so I can't get the knockout. I don't have an energy. So, like, I think Bloodmoon just might actually be better than not. Now, if I go boss, boss doesn't get me anywhere. Right, yeah, right? Because, like, I can't stop them from retreating. I could bring up an Iron Hands, but I don't want them to be able to find boss or get the knockout there. So I think it's better for us to, if they have Jet Energy, they can't get Jet Energy boss. Like, they probably just don't have Jet Energy boss. 1 Jet Energy. 2 Jet Energies. Like, there's a real chance they have Jet Energy, but if they have Jet Energy, they could retreat anyways, so it doesn't matter. I think I'm just gonna go boss, bring this up because it brings me the closest to the game. And I'm just gonna go for Itchy Pollen for 10. Now this puts my opponent in a range of Bloodmoon Ursaluna, because if I put a double turbo on it, it does 220. The maths. And I need to hope that my opponent, who doesn't have everything, whatever, now we have an opportunity to win the game with double turbo energy. If I go Iono, we're going to get closer to it, even though we're at 1 card. That's not going to necessarily help us. I'm just going to go ahead and go Itchy Pollen. Like, I don't know how many Jet Energies they play. Like, maybe they have another one. Maybe I brought them closer to it, but I can sit here and do it for a few turns. They can go 1, then they go 11. Yeah, if they get the knockout with Sableye, that's very valid. They can't get the knockout with Sableye because they can't retreat out of it. If they play Jet Energy is the only way they can get to the active spots. Go down to 3 cards, right? Like, Budew might just slow them down. Like, they might only play 2 Jet Energies. So sometimes late game Budew, you can see our opponents at 3 cards left in their deck. I mean, maybe they have a win con, maybe they don't. We're literally waiting for our win con. Few mistakes, or maybe, I don't know necessarily about mistakes. A few of our decisions are coming back to maybe bite us in the butts. Psychic Energy there is completely fine. I don't know if I care about Area 0. I don't want to necessarily play that down. Let's just go Itchy Pollen here again. Thought that they attached Psychic Energy. They have how many Psychic Energies? 1 Psychic there, 2 Psychics there. 3 Psychics, no more Sableye attacking. There's Colress. Colress grabs us our double turbo. And we finally are able to win the game against our opponent. So really close game, but you can see like Budew early, mid, and late game being able to slow our opponent down. I'm not sure exactly what happened in some parts of the game with our opponent, because maybe it's just the way that they built their list, but we were able to overcome an awkward prizing start and a turn 1 kind of miss and come back against the Lost Zone Tina deck. So for some really cool gameplay there. There's a lot of little things that this deck can do, and I think it's one of those things where you can kind of create your own kind of gameplay, whether you want to attack with Terapagos, Budew, Klawf, even Bloodmoon, using Iron Valiant, using Pecharunt. There's so many different things that we could have done, and I think like it doesn't always leave room for like error, but it always leaves room for what if our opponent didn't have this after Budew. You got to take some logical steps when it comes to playing this deck, but it's really cool when it works. And I hope that these games really showcase what this deck could do, and maybe some cases what it can't do. I like showing the limitations of everything as well. I really hope that y'all enjoyed watching this video, learning about Poison Terapagos. And if you did, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Let's get us to 50k subs up next, and of course leave us a comment below so that we kind of spark a discussion. I do get back to all comments, and if you're looking for anything else, I do have some coaching slots available after the European International Championships, so if you're trying to up your game, late February is where it's at. I will catch up with all y'all later. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out and have a great one. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.